Previously on Sin's The Hero's Tale, the party managed to secure a horse-drawn carriage and transport the defeated trio of vampires to the docks, where they were swiftly loaded onto the deck of the Ivy. They took to sleep, with at least one problem crossed off their list. The following morning, the Ivy was accosted by Lieutenant Commander Zina Atarah, who had been tracking the party since Gengren and suspected them in the naval sailor's murder. Asking Okazade's permission to personally interrogate every member of the crew when she returned, Zina unknowingly accelerated their timetable to find someone else to pin the murder on. After Zina left to begin collecting tools for the interrogation, the party investigated the port district and crime scene. After finding a lock of hair that Charia was able to trace back to herself, she painted the changeling Julian Everly as the culprit and suggested setting him up as a patsy. Thalia suspected the truth, and after some pressing, Charia admitted herself to Thalia, trading a favor at a later time for her silence. While Jura and Okazad went with Sebastian to Troy Manor to search for anything Julian may have left behind, Thalia and Charia returned with Dajil to the Yusin estate, hoping to find a trace of the man in person. While Jura was given a new and transparently cursed sword by Sebastian, the search of Troy Manor yielded no results. At the estate, however, Thalia and Charia met with the councilman's daughter, Starling Yusin, a shrewd businesswoman who was only too happy to undermine her father's business with Julian. Starling agreed to deliver a letter to Julian, asking him to come to the docks in a form reminiscent of the one Charia was witnessed in when the sailor was killed. Zina and her guards arrived just as Julian did, and the Navy quickly set upon him. Changing form to attempt an escape, Julian revealed himself as a changeling, which Jura pointed out could easily murder someone and shift form to get away with it. Convinced, Zina took Julian away, thanking the party for their cooperation, but not before Thalia successfully slipped a note into her pocket. Hours later, while the rest of the party was playing cards with Mel in the galley of the Ivy, Thalia met with Zina on the dock beside the Koun. Giving her the black box they'd found on South Vernal, Thalia advised her to bring the contents to Admiral Blackwater, the leader of the Lovianan Navy. She also told Zina to keep the box as payment, noting its ability to completely conceal whatever is placed inside from prying magical eyes. As Zina departed once again, the party took to relaxing, waiting for the High Commodore to make good on her promise of securing them passage through the blockade.
Oh no,
yeah.
he basically just like, I'm sorry, I didn't go to the. He basically just went like, and just shrugged his shoulders and just like went back to just like observing the deck itself.
So yeah, Thalia, you hear Sebastian giving them like basically the dimensions of the ship, like the rundown of the rigging and everything, the turn sensitivity of the helm, and then he takes. So with that, she's basically told you that this is your last night in Antebellum.
Alrighty. Hopefully that we can just be done and dusted with this place.
I would say at this point it's been a number of hours. Charya and Jura, you've probably got enough of a nap in at this point.
Yep. Which, at this point, she's just kind of sitting up on deck.
Yeah, so then you probably would have caught the conversation with Zina.
Yeah, but she really didn't care. She just wants to get out of town.
Yeah, I thought at this point I think.
Well, I mean, you care about the getting out of town part.
Yeah, I care about the getting out of town part. That's about it.
Well, yes, you now know that Zina has pretty much arranged for that to happen first thing tomorrow.
Hooray!
We're
So
finally leaving this fucking town.
Yeah, so if there was nothing else anyone wanted to say or do while you're waiting for dusk for the rest of your crew to get back.
Got nothing.
No, I got
do
nothing.
not believe I have anything either.
I'm just gonna say I'm watching my new deckhands, but other than that, I'm just silently observing.
Okay. Then... hold on. Sorry about that. So then I will say that as you're just kind of waiting, like at this point counting down the minutes until you can leave this God's forgotten city-state, the sun starts to begin its evening descent, and after a while you do actually see Nakit, Galena, Isam, Jericho, and Dodge come back. They're coming off from an area to the west of wherever the port district is. Like, they went in what looks like some kind of meadow, like grasslandy area just outside of town. But they're coming up. It looks like Nakit has a deer slung over his shoulders. Isam is carrying 2 bags, presumably with some kind of meat in it. And Galena and Jericho are actually on top of a carriage with a couple of barrels on it.
Well, I can see you guys have been busy.
Yeah, well, we figured we'd get some food for the road. That and, you'd be amazed how innovative some of the guys at this carve house are.
Anything you plan on putting into practice?
Yeah. Those barrels over there. Just, don't open them beforehand.
How much did you guys get?
Oh, we got a couple of things. This, this deer here. I'll go ahead and field dress this myself before we shove off. Isam, he's got the majority of the meat that was taken away, but get this. These guys, everything they don't use, entrails, all the stuff you can't really eat, get this. They put it inside of barrels, seal it up, and just leave it there.
That's it?
That's it. Captain, do you understand what we have here? If we rig up a couple of lines that can actually sling one of these at an enemy ship, we've got something so foul and so putrescent, it could force an enemy crew to surrender.
I like this idea. We can probably also use it for, fishing, can't we?
I totally thought he was about to say he was going to eat it.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
He's a Komodo dragon, so he probably would, but he's looking at the bigger picture.
And I assume this is the reason you brought it?
Yep. We could probably keep them somewhere on the deck, wherever we keep the munitions. Thankfully, you can't smell anything as long as the barrels are all sealed up, but as soon as you break the seal... Oh, even I didn't like it.
Ew.
Yeah, let's keep that somewhere safe and
Away from my
unlikely to
ship.
be messed with.
Sounds like it's time to make a trebuchet. Just throw the barrel at them.
That was the
Trebuchet,
idea.
catapult, something.
There's actually a pretty easy way you can do it. I'll show you how to work the rigging to pretty much do exactly that a little later.
Cool. Anything else happen while you guys were out?
Let's see. I got the deer. Got a couple of wolves too. Oh yeah, actually, here we go. And he throws you, Charya, for the war chest. He throws you a pouch with 500 gold inside.
Doing some extra work on the side?
Funny you should mention. We actually didn't even know that at the time. We just went after the wolves, and it turned out they were being pests to a local farm out there. It was one of the ones owned by one of the richer families in town, I guess.
I'll say that's quite a hefty sum for just wolves.
That's what we thought too, but I guess they were really putting a dent in the profits.
Alrighty, just get everything squared away, and we should be out of this God's Forsaken town by tomorrow.
Oh, good.
In the meantime, everyone gets to relax and finish up what they need.
Then we'll go ahead and load all this up. And as they're passing by, Jericho actually says to you, "It's from the Woodard family back in town. They own most of the farmland out here."
Hey, as long as hey, money's money. Can't really complain, can you?
Well, Thalia, that name rings a bell to you.
Oh, am I over there?
I would assume.
Yeah, I thought she was on her own ship.
I thought I was too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not over there.
Well, then, no. Never mind. You do not hear that.
Well, okay then.
Then, yeah, Jericho just tells you it's from a noble house. Although, were any of you around when Thalia learned about that dagger or the rapier in the woods?
Which rapier in the woods?
The one you took off the corpse, the one that was from Clan Woodard?
Oh. I don't remember if anybody else
Me?
rolled anything about it.
I don't think I know anything either.
Okay, then, nope, Thalia is the only one who that name would resonate with.
Well, I'm still gonna roll history on them just to figure out anything more about this family.
Yeah, because I assume he said the name though, so.
Nope, I had nothing.
Yeah, Charya, unfortunately, nothing doing.
I'm just enjoying
Hey, who
it.
knows? Maybe I overheard something.
You do know that they're one of the noble houses in town. Their estate is actually right next to Sebastian's.
Mm.
But unfortunately, yeah, like if none of you remember Thalia getting that rapier, then it's still nothing doing. It's just pointless trivia.
Well, I don't think we remember seeing her identify as was the thing.
Yeah, because I think I just rolled something to see if I knew. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, that works. Because
But I do need to talk to Dodge before he comes over.
okay, then yeah, you can.
I assume I see them loading everything up, so.
Yeah, you see them loading everything on the Ivy. So you
Okay.
you go over to where Dodge is.
Yes. I'm gonna sign something to him. Can I
Okay.
just DM you what I'm signing?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good idea. He looks at you confused at first, but then just kind of like looks at you quizzically, like kind of cocks his head to the side, as if like for confirmation.
Or just smile at him.
You see him like kind of narrow his eyes, and then just relax and just give you the like shoulder shrug, like okay.
Cool. Takes care of that.
Though to flavor it, roll a persuasion with advantage.
Oh. Okay.
Now that I think about it, because that's kind of
Damn it.
You do have advantage. Well, not that
That
advantage
didn't
mattered.
evened out. Though, let me try insight for him. Dodge. Wherefore art thou character sheet?
Oh, come
Uh-oh.
on.
Wow, 10, 10, and 20, 20. That's... What are the odds?
I
But
obviously.
but from that, he is able to tell that you're serious.
Okay.
So again, he'll give you like a wary squint, but at the same time, you haven't done or said anything malicious to him yet. So sure, he'll trust you.
Okay, good.
And he turns to Jericho and he pretty much signs what you said, only faster. Done what? Oh, all right. Why? He shrugs. Yeah, all right. Hell with it. And he starts loading up. Helps the others load up the meat onto the Ivy.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that reminds me. Hey, Captain.
Hmm?
Is should we put some of this on the other ship? The meat, not the stink barrels, that is.
I would hope not the stink barrels.
What stink barrels?
Plan and the plan they've got going with I'll tell you about later.
Basically, some folks at the Carve House told Achaidh about this thing. Apparently it's an old Cardian pirate trick. They take all the stuff they can eat from the animals, they put it in a barrel and they let it rot, and then they basically use a trebuchet to launch it at enemy ships.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. You can keep that off my ship.
Oh, from what I
I
hear,
I figured you wouldn't want it. Regardless, I believe you would want some of the other meats that these gents have been bringing in.
Yes, I would appreciate some of that.
You're the lady.
You got anything personal against Wolf?
Nope.
Cool. Then, Galena, Wolf goes on the other one. Okay. Takes care of that. And then, Galena and Isam, Thalia, you see them bringing, pretty much meat from three wolves on, and they start, getting it ready for preservation. As for the Ivy, you guys have a deer that Achaidh will begin to field dress, and you can add 4. How would you want to build these things? These barrels of rot, pretty much.
I guess rotting bombs would just be the apt term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever's managing the ship's inventory and war chest, you can add that you have 4 rotten bomb barrels.
I got it.
And after they're done, Jericho kind of sits down on an upturned barrel on the Ivy. So they say how long it's going to be before we can get up out of here.
We'll be leaving tomorrow.
Oh, thank the gods. It's about damn time.
That just be over with.
We'll roll something for Jericho real quick. Load character sheet. Nope, never mind. He does not notice. Yeah, he just sits back, kind of leaning against the guardrail, and just looks off in the direction of where the sun set. Well, then tomorrow can't get here fast enough.
Coming with?
That was the plan. That is, if you'll have us.
I don't see any reason not to.
Well, what I've seen, you lot seem to be a capable sort. And if you're going after vampires and other such monstrosities, there might be some pretty good hunts in hanging with you. Plus, he looks over to where Achaidh, Galena, and Isam are. Gotta admit, sir, I kind of like your friends.
Lively bunch we are.
Yeah, that's a term for it. Definitely a mixed bag. Bet if all of you done paraded through Antebellum, most of them townsfolk's heads would explode.
Might just do that just to see it.
If I knew they would, I'd be right there with you. But frankly, I'd be just as happy putting this city off the stern.
Immediately regretted ever setting foot on this rock.
Was that vampire the only reason y'all were here in the first place?
You'd be surprised. We did not expect this journey to be this much of a pain.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. You shouldn't have come here then.
Racism aside, now we had a freaking lockdown and this whole... What even was this place?
Well, makes you
Similar.
feel.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, someplace, slightly worse than hell.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there's what I understand, a collective of some of the more forward-thinking members of the noble houses get together every now and again. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a shift in the way things are done here before too long.
If that change means this freaking... I swear, stuff like that won't be going away that easy.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, radical change ain't exactly the best way to do shit, but it is change.
I suppose only time will tell.
I know that old Usain fella, he been talking about putting together a force and storming the northeast, going after them Arakakro who live up in the hills. I know there's plenty of people, just in Antebellum, never mind Achaidh, that have seen their fair share of struggle for the next couple hundred years, probably. But that ain't here nor there, and if we're gonna be out of town in the first place, then it ain't really our problem.
No, it really isn't. Honestly, I'd sooner just set off a bomb and just take out this entire town, but that's not really an option, is it?
I mean, you could always launch off a couple of them barrels on the way out.
Let's not make them angry.
Oh, the captain, the noble district is right freaking there.
Yeah. Do you, to
It'd
be honest,
so easy, and they wouldn't even be able to chase us out because the Navy'd stop them.
Do you really want to risk the Navy stopping just because a bunch of nobles have to deal with it?
you see, Captain, I'm on his side.
I mean, what's the point in being in good graces with one of them high commodores if you can't abuse the hell out of it every now and again?
You want to strain that?
Depends. How good a sense of humor she have.
Debatable. We haven't actually tested it.
Huh.
And quite frankly, with the way she can just appear and just like put down a man, I don't think you'd want to test that.
Well then, them's just be the musing of a man who's had enough. I ain't about to put y'all in any undue jeopardy, but if it does become a realistic consideration, I would hope you would do me the courtesy of calling me to the deck that I might witness that firsthand.
Witness it? My friend, I think you're gonna have the right to actually pull the trigger on it.
Oh, Captain threatened me with a good time, why don't you?
That's it. Confirmed. The captain wants to do it. Tomorrow we do it as soon as we set sail.
I said
Hell
if,
yeah.
Charia.
I don't know. I heard it too.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even on the ship.
Yeah, I am. I didn't say I went back.
I thought you
Yeah.
did.
No, I'm still
You
there.
said he could pull the trigger, so therefore there must be something in that gun.
I said if we were to. God. What a...
Oh, come on.
Get
just
used to
have a little-
this, Jericho. This is the kind of crew
Have a
you're
little
dealing
fun,
with.
Oakazad.
You know you want to.
Join the power of the dark side with cookies.
Yeah, I think we're gonna like this crew just fine. Hey, Dodge. You see Dodge just emphatically shake his head. like Gideon from Pinocchio, like he's a bobblehead on a dashboard, just yeah.
See, and what else? And how else are we supposed to welcome our new crew members without a little show of fun?
Oh hell, that sounds good by my book. Now, I gotta talk to Niki about building the trebuchet what can launch one of these things from the port all the way to that Usain estate.
You think you can do it before we have to go?
Captain, I can do it before it's completely dark out.
Can you rig it to a timer? So that we're already kind of out of port but can still see it?
I think it's more one of those impact kind.
Yeah, basically the way it works is once it's launched, like the ship's rigging will do most of the work. but then it launches it into the air, and it's meant to land on or in something, which will then break the barrel and basically leak a bunch of rotten, unused animal parts that will.
So yeah, timer is not necessarily an option unless we want to do something with the barrels to actually do that.
We're just fouling up the port, though? I thought we were fouling up the noble area.
That's what we'd be doing. Is
That's what we would be
launching
doing with
it.
Yeah, basically, Nikita is saying that he can make a rigging-based trebuchet out of the ship that is powerful enough to launch it from the port district over most of the town and have it land somewhere in the noble district.
Okay, but our ships can already be going away.
I'm
at that time,
pretty
is what
sure
I'm
the
saying?
Navy's gonna see us doing it though.
Probably.
Because if we're already moving, we can claim, nope, sorry, it wasn't us.
Navy is gonna disagree with that, but whatever.
Can't hear you, town guard, naval escort.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I feel like I have 3 devils on my shoulder right now, just saying, do it, do it, do it.
Do it, do it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna do. I
If
mean,
you got me to dodge, I'd say you got more like 5.
I mean, Captain, if you wish to remain completely oblivious to this fact, you can stay inside of your soundproofed room with your
Lady
girlfriend,
friend.
your girlfriend, and I'll take the blame for this one.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
By the way, you should be able to see it outside the port window of your.
Oh, I better hope we have a view of this. You guys are gonna be doing it.
It's not like we ever want to come back here.
If we're coming
Oh.
back here, it's with fire and flames.
Sounds like we have a plan then. Let's hurry up and get this thing ready to go.
Get all that, Nikki?
Of course I did, sir. So then, Charia, Nikita actually beckons you over,
Mhm.
and you watch as he sets up all of he takes a couple of pulleys from below deck, and he basically makes a trebuchet, and he uses a sort of sandbag-like weight system. You've played Black Flag, right?
Yeah.
Like that thing that Kenway uses that's at the base of the mast that slingshots him up on the yardarm.
Mhm.
Basically that on a much bigger scale, and it's rigged to where it basically uses the main mast to fling this thing a really long distance away.
We're going to keep this in mind for naval combat too. Call it practice run.
That is what it was originally intended for.
Oh, now we can make sure that everything works to plan, and when we do it.
Agreed.
But Chari will be helping out, as she can.
Cool. Then yeah, you I will say, for the sake of having roll me a general intelligence check.
General intelligence, something I am not great at.
That's fine.
You're better at it than me.
I got
Yeah, so despite watching Nikit do this, you're still you've got an idea of what the finished product looks like, but you're not confident that you'd be able to reassemble this thing on its own, or on your own rather.
Should I be able to?
Were you there watching?
Yes,
Did
I
you
was
want-
watching over this because I'm just like, well, might as well watch it.
I thought you wanted plausible deniability, Captain.
You know what? That's fair.
Then yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, Charia not confident to recreate this.
Well, she'll have plenty of time to mess around with this once we get to vacation.
I would say Thalia's probably watching this. Let me see if I know.
Okay, then yeah, roll an intelligence.
Dolly has more brain cells than I do. See?
Eh,
Not
Entire-
much.
Not much.
entire-
It probably won't be as powerful, but you could at the very least get it started and like set up the mechanism. You would probably just need some help, probably from the key, just tightening it and getting everything the way it needs to be. So was there anything else that you guys wanted to do before y'all are up and out of here?
No, just get the fuck out of here.
Go for the night and then come back in the morning when we're leaving.
All right. Then I will say you guys...
Jericho and Dodge know that they're staying on my ship, right?
Y'all never discussed who was staying.
You never did do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought when the first time that we talked to them, I said that they could stay on my ship because I have more room. But that was
you did have
many,
more room.
many sessions ago.
Does,
So
that does ring slightly familiar in my ears.
I'll just remind them.
I mean, you also
Before
have a
the
new
end of the
crew of
night.
5.
Yeah, I'll just remind them before the end of the night, saying I have more room on my ship and they can bunk there.
Well, all right. If that's the case, Dodge, we can... What? What the hell are you... You see Dodge just frantically pulling on Jericho's arm. What? He points off toward the starboard side of the ship. What is it? Starts signing. All right, where is it? And he points. All right, hold on. Jericho reaches back. He pulls his rifle off his back and he aims off the starboard side.
Okay.
Dodge said that little imp from earlier is back.
Ah, shit.
No, hold on, I got it. You said it was right there, right? Dodge nods. And let me roll to hit real quick. Ah, no, I need Jericho, not Dodge. Totally different weapons.
Kablam. That's a kablam.
Damn.
That is definitely a kablam.
That's a big kablam.
Wow.
So you hear just this shot echo across the deck, and while you don't physically see Reginald, pretty much that entire side is now coated in this viscous purple blood.
So...
Looks over to Dodge. Is that about to do it? And Dodge makes a gesture like he runs his finger across his neck and makes a gesture like head explode. That's what I thought. Puts his rifle back on his back.
No, it's always nice to have someone running around who can see things magical in nature.
Doesn't that mean that the changeling's still alive?
Do we roll something for that? Like, how would we know that?
I'm gonna roll Arcana because
Because, I mean, like, why is the imp here if the changeling is long gone?
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana.
Arcana.
I know nothing.
I know everything.
Nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, Okazad and Thalia, it's not... Like, warlock magic is really not your thing, and you know that's what Julian was. Charia, now that you're starting to dip into that, you know that when Julian apparently exploded, the spell that bound Reginald to him was destroyed.
Oh.
So Reginald was basically trying to come and Family Guy evil monkey you guys, just like sit there, look angry, and point like, you know what you did. But Jericho just blew his head off, so...
No need to worry. The changeling most likely still is dead, but when he died, the bindings that were bound the imp to him stopped working, as you can expect. So I think he was just coming here to fuck with us.
So he was just coming here just to hiss at us like an angry cat.
More like idly fuck with us since he's invisible and... Well, we didn't have anyone that could see him before without casting a spell.
Well, whatever it is, it's gone now. Though, while we still got some light out, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up that mess. And
Nice.
Jericho actually grabs a rag and starts cleaning up the blood.
It's always nice.
Yeah. But with that, I'm going to stay up on deck tonight because I'm going to enjoy the last night out here since it's actually quite nice outside.
Would be nicer anywhere else.
Oh, agreed.
All right. Then I take it everyone else is turning in.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Okay. Thalia, Jericho, and Dodge follow you back to the Ko'un. You see Dodge pause for a moment and then shake his head and proceed.
Okay.
And they're greeted by the deckhands. Sebastian is over there as well. He shows them down to their where they'll be staying.
Well,
Was there anyone else you wanted to line the Ko'un for now?
Well, I mean, we'd already talked about who I was taking from the Ivy, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Was that a conversation all of y'all had, or was that just...
No, I do not believe we all had that.
I think we had it off. Off
Yeah, we had it off camera.
recording. Yeah.
It was speculated where we basically had a...
Well, because we were talking about who all was there and who would go where, and I
Yeah,
said I definitely wanted Ayame because
y'all
I'm
basically had a draft pick.
because I'm supposed to be taking care of her. And then I definitely want Lucian.
Which is fine. Everyone else still seems apprehensive.
To not like him, yeah. And I think you said that Sebastian would volunteer.
Yeah, Sebastian is going to want to stick with you now that he knows you're carrying Leek's child.
Yeah. So it would just be those three.
Okay. And then obviously for the time being, you've got Jericho and Dajiel with you as well.
Yeah, because they've got room to hang out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will say you make that known, and Ayame and Lucian go with
Oh yeah,
Lucian.
because we did do this because Lucian was moving his stuff.
That's right.
I
That's
told
right.
Lucian
Okay,
to
that
move
part I
stuff.
remember. That part I
Yeah,
remember.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
I
had to have had this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember he was moving his stuff. Okay. See, this is what happens when we don't play very often.
Yeah, too infrequently. We just play with like weeks and weeks off from each session. It's like,
Yeah. I'm sure I've said it a lot at this point, but we should probably stop doing that.
you say that as we're going to be off for another few weeks before the next one could possibly happen.
Yeah, I know. So then,
Anyways.
yes. So you all take to your quarters. Charya, you said you're staying up tonight?
Yep, since I slept during the day.
Okay. Then everyone else, I imagine that's probably going to be a recurring thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Then while everyone else is taking to sleep, you would actually see Mel come out on the deck and practice with her daggers.
I'm not going to interrupt her. I'm just going to keep an eye out and enjoy the night.
Yeah, she looks like she's doing, like, practicing some kind of flourishy, like, spinny stab thing. Basically no less efficient, just making it a little more showy. And then time passes. The following morning is upon you. And before the sun is even up, Charya, you see a navalman, even better dressed than the one you met yesterday, come up to the Ivy. Excuse me, crew of the Ivy!
Yeah, I'm right here. And I'll just kind of stand up from my spot, probably up where the wheel is, and just kind of walk on over.
You notice this man appears to be a merfolk, though offhand you're not entirely sure what type. Probably some kind of shark, you're guessing.
Mhm.
But he's dressed even more to the nines than the other guy and has a lot more chest candy on. Like, excuse me, ma'am. My name is Captain Ness. We're ready to escort you through the blockade.
Alright, I will inform the captain and crew. Just give us about 5 minutes.
Very good. My ship is in the main district inside the city, so once we're out, we'll swing by this way and we'll collect you. It's just the two ships, right? He refers to a little sheet of paper in his pocket. The Ivy and Ko'un is what the lieutenant commander gave us.
That is correct.
Very good. All right. Should take us a little while to get underway. Say meet back in 30 minutes. Be ready to go.
Yep, I'll make sure everyone's up and awake.
Very good.
And just give him a quick nod and head off to Okazad's door, knocking on it. Thunk, 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 thunk.
He nods and, with quite a bit of purpose, marches away like he's got somewhere to be.
Yeah. Captain, the Navy just told us to wake up.
Alrighty, get everyone moving. The sooner we get off this place, the better.
Agreed, they'll be meeting us in about a half an hour, so you've got plenty of time for you and your lady friend. And Chari is going to leave the door immediately after saying that.
I swear these people.
Okay, so for the sake of this, we're going to say Jura's still asleep for right now.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go wake the crew, and then I'll go over to Thalia's boat and knock on her door.
Yes.
Navy's telling us it's time to wakey.
Fine. I just yelled down the corridor. 1, 2, 3, 4, Devlin! Rise and shine!
Like, I actually wish I had Reverie in my music library. Because pretty much like a boot camp division, like they all just scramble, like throwing on their clothes and everything, and they're all just standing at perfect attention on the deck, except for Devlin. He still looks a little sleepy.
1, 2, 3, 4, Dev. And she's going to turn back to, Thalia's door. When did these guys get here?
Bastion brought them yesterday. Apparently they're my deckhands.
Oh. Well,
They'll do for now.
They at least like to look presentable.
I guess the
Yeah.
uniforms were their idea.
Well, I'll leave you and you five to get up and get ready. And Navy ship will be back in about 30 minutes.
I look at the deckhands and I'm like, all right, look alive, Redshirts. You got 30 minutes to get this ship underway.
One smiles.
We'll have it done in 10.
We'll see about that.
And like that, they get straight to work.
Shari goes back to the other boat and just gives a wave to Thalia as she gets off.
Yeah, and as the Navy ship begins to pull up 30 minutes later, a smell of breakfast emanates from the galley of the Koun. As Ayame gets stuff ready. But the ship pulls pretty much alongside, like on the port side, the side that's facing out, pulls alongside of you guys on the Ivy, and Captain Ness steps out on deck. Are we all ready to go?
Unless anybody else has something down here.
Seems like we're ready to go, Captain.
He walks over toward the stern of his ship and yells over to the Koun. And was it, Captain Thalia, was it? Are we ready?
Ready here.
Walks back and the his ship begins. You see, Thalia would actually be able to get a better view of it. But from the back of his ship, there's like a large metal cylinder that's semi-submerged in the water. You see the end of it begin to glow, and a little blue burst of energy propels his ship forward. And it pulls out in front of the Ivy.
Oh, Captain, seems we're going to be underway. I do recommend you go inside, though. It's quite a bright day.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. Let's just get this beat done and over with. I'm just gonna hopefully just put this all behind me with a nap.
As you walk off the deck, you notice pretty much everybody else in the crew, deckhands included, are all walking out onto the deck.
Yeah, he just closes the door behind him.
Alright, just as we practice, everyone, load salvo 1.
Yep, you see Pork just stomping on the deck with this barrel lunged over his shoulder, And he rigs it into the makeshift trebuchet.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Nikit, fire at your will.
Oh, with pleasure. And as Nikit cuts the line, let me roll it since...
I honestly thought Jericho was going to get it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
well, I meant for him to tell Jericho to do it.
Well, Jericho's on the cone right now.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
But he is,
oh.
however, watching this emphatically. Then I guess just make a dexterity check for Nikit to see if he's able to launch this properly.
I think it would work with a normal attack roll. Yeah.
So with a 15, with a whirring of line and a... You watch as this barrel is slingshotted up over the mast and begins to disappear until it's not but a pinprick to y'all's perception, and it lands on the far side of town, pretty much right around where Councilman Yusin's mansion was.
I'd say that is a definite good test of our smell-destroying weapon, wouldn't you say?
I don't know. He leans forward and kind of puts a hand to his ear hole.
Let me see.
And you can all roll a perception.
No, Okazad's not going to. He's tuned this all out.
I will say, even with that, the 8 and the 9 will catch this. You can't exactly tell what they're saying, but Charia and Thalia, you can make out the sounds of anguished and disgusted screams coming from across town.
Well, let's not use them all on these people. We don't want to give them too much of their fun back.
Yes, you now have 3 rotten barrel bombs left.
Yep.
A small
All
victory,
right.
but a victory all the same.
Thalia, you can't help but notice that Jericho is tickled pink by what he just witnessed.
Not surprised. And with that, I'm just gonna smile and go down and eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Ayame's prepared a nice meal of rice and eggs.
Ooh, yummy.
And as the gap in their work allows, the deckhands come and grab something, like scarf it down, and then go back to work as well. And Captain Ness leads you guys up. It's about a couple miles offshore, where just this row of heavily armed naval ships is waiting. He appears to yell something to one of them, and 2 of the ships actually begin to... Okazad, you've never... Or, you're still below deck, right?
He can still see through the windows.
This
I'd
would be
imagine.
this would be something more if you're facing forward, you would see.
Hmm.
But Charia then, and I'm assuming Jura if he's up by now, or no, he's still asleep. Charia would notice this. The 2 naval ships, they don't move forward and just turn to part. They straight up move sideways. As if something is propelling them from the sides, and they're actually able to move in that direction.
Gonna have to figure out how they do that sometime.
You're free to roll a perception as the ivy passes them by.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna roll perception, and it's gonna be amazing. Best perception ever.
A 12's not bad. You see, there appears to be 2 on each of these. A glowing metal cylinder, one on the bow, one on the stern. And it looks like they used to have a dim blue glow that is now starting to subside as your ship overtakes them.
Well, if we ever run into that man again, we'll have to ask him for those designs.
Yeah, basically what you're seeing here is a sea-punk version of a bow thruster.
Yeah.
So you now know that Navy ships can move in multiple directions, not just forward. But as you pass the blockade, Captain Ness pulls his ship off to the side, and it kind of skids to a halt. And as he passes you by, his crew is kind of outlining the port side of that ship, just all standing parade rest as they look off the side of the ship as you pass them by. And with that, you are all officially out of card.
Hallelujah!
Hey.
Hurry,
Woo! Oh,
hurry,
look,
paddle.
there's other places that exist. I'd almost forgotten.
Hurry, paddle faster. I hear banjos.
Seriously.
I still hear the swamp music. Yeah.
Well, let's start our adventure down to Crescent Cove to drop off those bodies.
Oh yeah, is that where we decided we were going? Yeah.
No, we
Wait,
got 3
Wasn't the
vampire
men
bodies.
supposed to be picking it
Yeah,
up?
I was to say, someone's supposed to be come getting them.
Yeah.
Girin said she was going to send somebody.
And
Did
might
we
as well
actually
still-
decide where we were going before we left?
No,
Yeah,
I
so
don't
we
believe
should-
we have.
Well, that's what we should figure out
We're
now.
so professional.
I
To be
had
fair, we've been
suggested-
together. We've been together for what, like 2-3 weeks?
Yeah,
We're still kind of.
I had suggested that we jump down to Crescent Cove, just pick up our reward, and then head up to Mahad for vacation.
Yeah, but they're coming to us.
Yeah, but somebody's coming to us. Yeah. Did-
Well, they're coming to collect the bodies, but I don't know if they're bringing the reward with them.
I imagine they would be if they're doing that.
Worst case scenario, we get a
Depends on
reward
how-
later, probably.
And where exactly are they collecting these bodies? Do they even know where we're gonna be?
For the sake of fluffiness, I'm going to say you guys are using the scrying orbs that Lucian gave you to communicate.
Fair enough.
I
In that
forgot
case,
that we had those. So.
I'll be honest, I actually have both of them written down on my sheet currently.
Then for the sake of y'all still being able to communicate while underway, let's retroactively say you gave Thalia one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm totally up for that. I didn't mean to grab both. I just wrote them both down at the time. But, yeah,
Yeah, so do they, if we go to Mahad immediately, are they gonna know to come pick it up there? Because they never actually said where they're picking it up.
To be
I'll be
all
honest,
fair, there was no way for them to actually be able to get past the blockade either, that they're still trying to figure out.
Funny you should
How
mention
were they even
that,
communicating with each other?
because it's at this point that Mel actually yells down, "Captain,
Oh
Hmm?
shit.
we've got a contact off the bow. Looks like..." She looks up, looks back down. "Are we expecting a dragon?"
Dragon?
The fuck?
Dragon.
Hard on.
Roll perception, all those... Or actually, Thalia can do it too. Anyone
Well,
who's-
I assume we were using the scrying orb when we heard this, so...
Yeah. Sure enough, to Jura and Sharia, it looks kind of like a, almost like the silhouette of a bird. But Okazad and Thalia, you can very clearly see that it's getting progressively bigger, even bigger. Oh, this is not a bird. Oh, this is not tiny at all. No, this is just shy of what the destroyer was, and it's all black.
Son of a...
And it rises up, dives down, and catches itself, like lands pretty much right on the bow of the Ivy.
Yeah.
And from
So,
off of it,
big black
off of it-
dragon.
and from off of its shoulders hops a man in black armor with a spear.
Oh, that dragon didn't just break their ship?
No, it caught itself on its wings and landed.
Okay. Must be a really light dragon, but okay.
Well, it's a wyvern.
Hi.
Oh, true. Truth.
Quite the dramatic entrance you have there.
I should say so. Now, which one of you is Charia?
The purple one.
So you pretty much tell him it's you.
Yeah, I just kind of finger up, this purple one over here.
Well, obviously, Captain Gearing's a little tied up, unable to send ships to Card, what with the naval blockade and everything.
So she sent a wyvern out instead.
I was in the neighborhood at Crescent Cove. Figured I'd do you a service.
Fair
Crescent
enough.
Cove's kind of a long ways off, isn't it?
You don't know how fast one of these can travel, do you? As he points back to the wyvern.
Evidently not.
Well then, we'll get the 3 packages up here on deck for you.
If you'd be so kind, I'd appreciate it.
And brain work. Pork, Anthos, get those coffins up here.
Aye, sir. They both go down below deck, and within a couple minutes, like, Pork is able to do this shit no problem. Like, he pretty much has 2 coffins in his arms, just hauling them up, and Anathos is struggling with just the one. And then the man with the spear, he kind of sticks his spear into the deck and helps load them up onto this wyvern like it's a...
Well, actually,
like,
before he was actually going to load them up, I want to ask him a few things.
He stops and looks at you.
Would there be any way to interrogate these gents safely before you run off with them?
I mean, that would require taking the stakes out of them. Not too keen on that from what Captain Gearing's told me.
Neither am I, Captain. No offense.
I was afraid of that.
What did you think was gonna happen?
No, I just rather ask before just like letting it just go by or anything.
Well, Captain Gearing said that this one has the ability to speak to her whenever she wants, right?
Yup.
Cool, so then any requests, complaints, grievances you have or your captain has, you can probably just tell her right to her face, as it were.
Yep. But let's not hold you up for too long, because I assume you want to get away from here.
Well, I do have other places to be. Got to get back to Vernal to see how the old man's doing.
Oh, you're... Okay. Oh,
Is that all then?
Have a safe
Captain?
journey back.
Oh, I intend to. And as he loads up and he hops back onto the wyvern. Oh, it's Nightwind, by the way. Drake Nightwind. And
You were the wyvern.
Me, simpleton. This is Raven. As he leans down and pets the wyvern on the...
Sorry.
yeah. Now let's give a wave.
And with 3 mighty flaps of Raven's wings, he is off the bow and taking off back towards southeast towards Crescent Cove.
Once
That
you-
accent, though.
Not how I was ever expecting the package to be picked up, but you know what?
I wasn't expecting that either. They didn't. She just told me that someone was coming to pick it up. But
Like, you think they would warn us about a giant black wyvern?
A
can we just
delivery is a
talk about his
delivery.
name? Like, his name sounds like something I've read out of like one of those fantasy novels.
I'd believe it.
Either way, where the hell are we going now?
Excellent question.
Seeing as there was...
I don't know about you. I think we all deserve a break after all this bullshit.
I agree. And I was thinking, stop by Crescent Cove since, well, he didn't drop off a giant sack of money, gold, riches, such like that we would have liked.
That's so far out of the way.
I mean, my other idea is we go head to Mahad for a vacation. It's quite nice this time of year.
So you've been there, I take it?
No, I've just heard about it. Oh, because look at me. Do you think this, and she kind of like,
It was a rhetorical question, Lady Charlia.
Do you think this has ever been to a desert?
do you think this has been out in the sun that long? This is the most time I've
It was
spent
a
out in the dark.
rhetorical question.
Go out in
Yes.
the sun more. It's good for you.
I burn very easily.
Fortunate for you.
So the drow who burns very easily wants to go to the burning hot desert.
Yes, because even I can understand the need for vacation, and I've heard Mahad is quite nice for that this time of year. Now,
I will say, due to past history rolls and recent conversations, Okazad, you do know that Mahad is a naval port.
In naval territory again.
yes, naval territory that we are not wanted, or hunted down, or anything. Unless you have a better idea. Besides, what do you mean naval territory again? Card was neutral.
Apologies, I kind of mistook that over the entire Navy fleet that we were dealing with. Jesus.
You all also met. All of you also met in Crystal Cape, which is another navy port.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
You know what? Screw it. Screw it. Let's just go.
I'll pull up the scrying orb and call over to Thalia. Hey Thalia, guess what? Captain's decided, or Okazaz decided we can go on vacation.
Vacation where?
Mahad.
She's silent for a little bit. I'm fine with that.
Cool. If you need anything, just yell at me over the scrying orb. I'll probably hear it.
Yeah, who was that just now?
Oh, one of Giran's dudes. Darkness, Drakeheart.
No, he said he was just in Crescent Cove for other reasons. He's got to get back to Vernal, which would make him one of League's guys.
Oh. I think he was one of League's dudes. Said something about getting back to Vernal and the old man. His name was like Drake, Darkness. Something really horribly edgy.
I'll ask Sebastian later.
Roll me a history, Thalia.
Oh, true. I guess I could do that.
Since you've spent more time in League City than
I
anybody.
definitely don't think that works.
Well, I
Oh.
get advantage on history.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
with an
right,
18. Yeah, you remember Drake Nightwind. League told you about him. He's the one who, in the event League dies or retires, he's the one who's going to take over Vernal as Pirate Lord.
Oh. Okay.
He seemed nice enough, and he liked to make fun of Okazad, so I figured we could trust him.
Yeah, you've never met
Huh.
Drake. He was never in Vernal when you were there, but League has told you about him.
Okay, well then she approves.
But besides that, time for vacation.
So Anathos comes up to you.
So we can go ahead and set a course for Mahad then, sir.
Aye.
You see a not necessarily evil, but like a very confident smile come over Anathos' face. And he leans and like yells to the other deckhands.
Alright, Cheide. Bank northeast. We're going to Mahad.
And there's a small eruption of cheers as the other deckhands are all for this.
No, something you guys enjoy, Mahad.
Really, that entire area is not that bad. Plus, there's just a weird appeal of people like us just cruising into a naval port and just chilling there.
Fair enough.
Besides, if we ever get bored, Winkwell's right on the other side of the strait, and that place is heaven.
Well,
Behave yourselves, gents.
Remember, any trouble, any bad behavior falls back on the captain. And we've seen how he likes to punish people.
We wouldn't want that, would we, Pork?
Oh yeah, says Pork.
Just make sure when we get there, don't spend all your money in one place.
I would try not to. Frankly, it'd just be nice to get some downtime.
Oh, you have no idea. Chari's just gonna go below decks for a little bit. Get her out
You
of the sun.
seriously have no idea.
Alright, then the other deckhands shift things up. Thalia, I imagine a similar setup. Sebastian would have conveyed that to the Redshirts.
Mm-hmm.
Then both ships begin sailing. After you travel a little east and navigate past the Horn of Card, you would begin traveling northeast and make way for Mahad. And that is where we can end today.
Well, alrighty then.
Finally putting this godforsaken town behind us.
Yeah, we've been in.
Way too long.
Yep, but now you guys are finally done with Card, and I don't think I have anything written, plot or otherwise, that requires you ever go back.
Hallelujah.
If it ever does, it better be to just raise it.
If anything, God forbid you ever need to go between Rowan-Aster and Brand Peak, but even then, you can just cut straight across the Valdo frontier. It's a little more dangerous, but fuck it.
No, we'll swing close enough by so we can fire another one of those rotting barrels at them.
Does it even have that kind of range?
I mean, the entire town is pretty wide, and you just basically managed to hit it on your way out of the port district, all the way pretty much in the northernmost reaches of the city. So at the very least, you know it can cover pretty much the entire width of Antebellum.
Overgird this. Let's just move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. You back with us, Zach?
I've been here.
Okay, just making sure. Then, yeah, if there's nothing else.
I mean,
Nope, I'm good.
I'm as good as well.
All right, then we will see you next time.
For vacation.
Vacation.
hey, vacation, but something's gonna happen.
Knowing this, it's probably going to, but you know what? Vacation. Let me enjoy this for a moment. Let everyone, including the crew, enjoy this.
I will not.
When did you get the anti-fun stick up your butt?
So now I get to have fun, pulling out the story stuff I had written for Mahad.
I think I actually had something to do in Mahad.
Something
remember
about
what it was,
the
though.
swords you have? Or
Was
the
it the
kopeshes?
sword?
Yeah, your...
Oh,
Kopeshes.
yeah.
Sabra
Somebody...
Sabra told you the last person who had your kopeshes was in Mahad.
That's right. That's right.
He also told you that's where he's going because his brother owns a shop there.
Truth.
I love how I remember that, but I can't remember what the last thing y'all did last session was.
Well, whatever.
Well, it was at the very end. We were wrapping up. We were just like, okay, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
And I mean, it ended with a card game out of nowhere, of all things.
Hey, I mean, now I know we can do that.
I mean, yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, a card game on a motorcycle.
No.
God damn it, MJ.
We're so close.
Did you say boatercycle?
That's what he said.
Yes, a motorcycle.
I fucking hate you. I love that joke, but I'm obligated to tell you I hate it.
I feel like I should
I
end
don't
the video
get it.
just on that.
It's a...
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh joke.
Yeah, it's a...
Yeah.
That's why I don't get it.
Yeah. Anyway. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Deuces.
Deuce.